Some crazy details have been revealed about the Boston Celtics' upcoming season as the full schedule for the season released earlier today. On this video, we are going to break down all of the important matchups, some of the returns, some of the players on our team returning to their former teams, the Jaylen Brown return to TD Garden, all of the following, folks. It's pretty crazy. There's a lot of good matchups on here. There's a Christmas game, there's the season opener, the home opener, all of which we will discuss right here on Celtics Digest, where I'm your host, Kellen Frangione. It is a pleasure to be back discussing Celtics basketball as always. I love doing this. We're trying to be here every day on this channel, staying consistent, even in the off season where there isn't too much going on, folks. The full schedule release is finally here. It's going to be amazing to break it down right now. But before we get any further, folks, I do want to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel if you have not already, because as it stands, 66% of you guys that watch these videos right now are not subscribed to the channel. It is free to subscribe. If you hit that bell notification, you will be notified every single time we make a post on this account, which is daily, folks. So we really appreciate it if you do subscribe to the channel. We are extremely close to hitting another huge milestone of 11,000 subscribers. This comes only a month and some change after we hit 10,000. So the growth has been amazing. We really appreciate every single one of you guys that come onto this channel, that comment, that participate, that like the videos, or even just watch. We really appreciate it. But folks, let's get into it. What's the first thing that we've all been waiting for, though? What's the one thing you guys all wanted to know? Jaylen Brown's return to TD Garden, folks. We now know when it's going to be. Jaylen Brown will play his first game in Boston as a Sixer on January 21st, TD Garden. The return, LeBron, Jaylen Brown in Sixers jerseys coming to Boston, play Tatum. Wow. I mean, I just can't believe this is a real headline still. I'm really still just wrapping my head around how bad this trade was. I mean, I understand, that you weren't going to pay two guys 600 million, same city, same team. It wasn't going to happen. Tatum is the guy over Jaylen Brown. That is very true. But I'm still just like, why? Why to Philly? Why was it that package? It just sucks. Like, it's still, we're over a month since it happened now. It's mind-boggling. But nevertheless, Jaylen Brown is making his return to the court, TD Garden, the parquet, against the Celtics January 21st. And honestly, I'm a little surprised it comes that late into the season. Why isn't it a little earlier? We play the Sixers about 4 times every season. Why is it not a little earlier? I don't know. That's a little weird. But anyway, folks, here is the full schedule just to give you guys a really full picture, full scope of everything. Obviously, you can see it here. 82 games, all 82 on there. NBA Cup knockout rounds are highlighted there, kind of in the mid-left here. And you see it, man. I mean, there's a lot of good games on here, but I'm not going to get into every single one. I just want to tell you guys about some of the ones that I think are kind of key. So the first one that I want to discuss is obviously the season opener, guys. The season opener is going to come at 3 p.m., weirdly, against the Pistons. That game, that day, also features games with the Knicks and the Sixers, and I believe the Spurs and the Thunder. So what is our record against the Pistons at home? Well, it is as follows. In the past 3 seasons, just because I was curious, just because I want to look at some numbers. Not at home. Away versus the Pistons. That is our season opener. What is the Celtics record recently against the Pistons? Well, in 2024, they won both times away at the Pistons, but since then, the Celtics have not recorded a win at Detroit since 2024. They've lost the last 3 at Detroit, including the most recent one in January of this year, a loss by 1 point. The Pistons are a good team. I mean, they were the 1 seed in the East. We were right behind them this past season. They're a good young team. Cade Cunningham is a real star. So there's a lot of interesting things that are going to happen there. Hopefully the Celtics can pull out a win in the first game of the season, but the odds are currently against them. Hopefully they can flip the script here, pick up a win on the road for that first game of the season. Another interesting one is going to be the home opener. The home opener comes against the Knicks, folks, in that same week with that opener against the Pistons. How have the Celtics done at home versus the Knicks in recent years? Well, it is as follows right here. The data shows that we have won those first 2 in 2023, lost in 2024, won again in 2024, won those 2 in 2025, and lost the most recent matchup in February of this year. It was a pretty bad one. The Celtics did not put up much of a fight there, but you see it. The Celtics do have the winning record at home against the Knicks in recent years. It's going to be interesting. Mitchell Robinson will be going against his former squad in his Celtics jersey. It'll be interesting to see. I hope the Celtics can beat the defending champion Knicks. It's always great to beat New York. I'm from New York, but I'm a Celtics fan. It's always good to beat the Knicks, and that would be another good way to just keep the season rolling and pick up a win there. But as we know, the Knicks are the national champions. They are the NBA champions, world champions. Can't take it away from them. They finally did it after their many, many years of pain and heartbreak and waiting. But what's the next game? Another one I want to highlight, a pretty important one, is going to be that Christmas game, folks. How have the Celtics done on Christmas Day? Well, they're going to be playing the Heat, and it includes the following right here. A 5-4 record on Christmas since 2016. Honestly, not the best. I thought it would be a little better. The most recent Christmas game was not this past season. It was 2024, where we lost by 4 to Philly. Then before that, a win against the Lakers, which I remember pretty well. A win against the Bucks, a loss to the Bucks, a loss to Brooklyn, a win against Toronto, a win against Philly, a loss to the Wizards back in the day. And then that first one there in 2016 was a win against the Knicks. Hopefully the Celtics can pick up a win there against the Heat. 1 second, folks. Apologies here. There we go. Yep. So the Celtics will be hosting the Miami Heat in that game. Hopefully they can pick up another Christmas Day win. It's always a pleasure to watch the Celtics on Christmas Day. I was pretty disappointed when they did not get slated for a Christmas game this past season, but whatever. I mean, the NBA picks and chooses what they want. Some other things I want to highlight here when people come to town or when players are making their return against their former team that are now on the Celtics. One of the games is going to be Mitchell Robinson making his return to Madison Square Garden. You see it right there. That's going to be March 14th. Celtics at Knicks. Another one I want to highlight, one that we always take a great pleasure in, playing the Lakers, February 2nd at TD Garden. Luka Doncic now, no LeBron on the Lakers. That will be a good one to watch. The main kid himself, Cooper Flagg, is going to be coming to TD Garden right there, November 15th. You see it in that week with also games against Orlando and against Denver. Another one is going to be Paul George's return to the Sixers. That is going to come November 10th. What else do we have here? Mike Conley. Mike Conley will be making his return to Minnesota February 28th. That is also the last game of February. December, we have the Massachusetts kid himself, AJ DeBansa, the number 1 overall pick. He will be coming to town in that week in December, playing on the 14th and the 16th at TD Garden, where he cheered for the Celtics all of his life growing up. He recently said he is no longer a Celtics fan. Obviously, he's not playing for us. Hopefully one day, maybe one day, both Cooper Flagg and DeBansa, come on down, guys. You know you want to play for your hometown team, for your team that you've always been rooting for. You know you want to. Another one, the MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder will be coming to town March 12th at TD Garden. And another great one, another huge one, is going to be Wemby and the Spurs coming to TD Garden March 24th. So these ones are pretty late in the season. I get it. Those Western Conference teams, they usually come later in the season. But folks, there's a lot of good matchups, a lot of things to note for this upcoming season. I'll pull up the full schedule here once again. It's a little hard to read. Apologies. If I go into the graphic here, you might be able to see a little bit better. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Once again, I think that the Celtics are the Celtics are going to be a top 5 seed in the East this year. I do think that it took a little bit of a hit. I would have had us instantly top 3 lock if we still had Jaylen Brown, but the East got stronger, and on paper, our roster is weaker. We have to be honest with ourselves. On paper, it's a little bit weaker than it has been in years past, but I think the Celtics are still going to overachieve, and I will not be surprised if they make a top 3 seed in the East, regardless of all the noise, regardless of the Jaylen Brown trade, and all these things that have happened. I think the Celtics have great potential to make this another good year. Despite everything that's happened, it really also depends on how well PG can fit with the system, unless maybe he even gets flipped. Maybe he doesn't play games for us. We will see, folks. But make sure to check out more stuff with the Celtics schedule, and make sure to stay here on Celtics Digest. I'm your host, Kellen Frangione. It's been a pleasure talking about Celtics hoops today. as it is always. And don't forget, folks, as I told you earlier in this video, to subscribe. We really appreciate it if you do. We are so close to 11,000 subscribers. We're really trying to create the largest Celtics community on YouTube right here, folks. You can be a part of it right now if you hit that button. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one.